Hello, Sheri.
I'm hoping this
Hi, Oh, there you are. Hello. And okay, here you go. I see you.
trying to get my shit. If this is automatically on or what? Just oh God. It doesn't have like lights or anything.
Can you see me?
Oh, there you in my ear now, and you heard me.
Okay, good. Yes, I can. Yeah, well, if you can turn up the volume a little bit.
It's not on the right thing.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, no, I cannot. I wonder what is going on. And you probably have been on Zoom most of today. No? Okay.
No.
I know I am a lot, but
Right.
I
So, well,
thought,
no, I'm not doing that much right now. Let's see where the.
that everybody's the same.
Can you hear me?
Plugged in HDMI earplugs, and that works pretty reliably.
Okay, so you hear me better here.
Yes, I do. And
Okay, so
no background noise, and there isn't any echoing. So
okay.
that seems good.
So I've been.
But
It's been challenging.
you look well though. You look great. Yeah, we have all times though during the holidays. I guess you had to have it.
Yes, I think I told you about what was going on with me, and
Yeah, you did. I didn't realize that it was going to happen so soon.
well, in that first surgery, there was complications.
Oh,
And
so
I
go
blew
back
up this side, blew up this big. And I had a meeting with somebody the other day. Who was this? And it was funny. I was going to introduce you to, and I come to find out he's already working with you.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Let me
Is that
see. Where is he?
Nagur, maybe? Well, then that's good news though, because we both have a high opinion of this person, and I'm already working with him, so that's good.
Yeah.
Makes me
It
happy.
was just so funny because I was going to like introduce you, and then it was like, oh no, I'm already working with her. I'm like, all right, I don't know where it is, where it was. I mean, these last couple of weeks have just been a burp.
But they were. Now you can spend the rest of your life then just healing and getting better, better, better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drop in chat some links.
Okay, great. Sounds great. And
Okay.
which was good for the holidays, I think. But
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll record this, we'll edit it, and then make shorts out of it so we can use it in multiple social media platforms like YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. So do you want to just go start? And
Yes.
I'm already recording, so I'll just edit to here, and then we're just gonna play it.
Are you doing it live on LinkedIn? No,
I'm not doing it live.
Okay.
I'm recording it. And anybody who comes, it just comes right into our Zoom room.
Okay.
And then, but eventually I was working on another platform before, but it had ended up having some glitches, and excuse me, it dry my eyes. I laugh too much and I start tearing up. That's just in my genes. But what I'll do then is I was eventually going to be live streaming to YouTube, and I was doing that before, and it worked really well. So they recorded there, and then I just will upload it from here after we record. I've got 2 recordings. One's going to be with Fathom, and the other will be Zoom.
Okay.
And we have also transcription.
Okay. Good.
So I'm going to just kind of fade into the background, but you're going to be all center stage after I introduce you. Yeah, after you kind of introduce yourself, I'm going to ask some clarifying questions or help people to clarify what you do and how you help people in a very powerful way. Oh no, my eyes won't stop tearing up. Okay.
Figure out where this thing can go.
Oh, you look so official. That's so beautiful. It's like I'm in full color, everything. All right. So here we go. Thank you everyone for joining us on Business and Life Insights. Today we have the pleasure of welcoming Sheri Mills. She is a functional nutritional coach, and we'll find out more about what that is. And she's also a best-selling author, a dynamic speaker, as you will soon find out if you haven't found out already. And she spent over a decade transforming lives with her evidence-based approach to health and wellness. She herself has endured 26 years of personal pain and discomfort, which we'll go into to whatever extent she would like. But her story is really compelling. She discovered the power of functional nutrition and made it her life's mission to help others reclaim their health. You will understand once you hear what she has gone through. So Sheri, welcome. We're so glad to have you here today. Welcome. I'm so happy.
Thank you. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So I gave a little bit of an introduction. So why don't you introduce yourself in a way that you know that people would like to hear about you. You have quite an amazing story.
Oh, okay. Well, my business career basically was 30 years in sales, telecommunications. I started out in Yellow Pages and ended up selling large fiber networks for global companies. So I was a workaholic, always chasing that ever quota attainment, right? And getting the bonuses and stuff. And I was networking morning, noon, and night. And I was in meetings and I was staying late to get my my quotes done. So the weekends were just laundry, house, pets, you know, the basics, right? I didn't really have a life and I wasn't taking care of me. And I fell into multiple disease states. Some of them I think I'm predisposed. I've been on statins since my 20s for cholesterol. No matter what, I couldn't seem to break through that one. I had 12 years of visual migraines that had pretty much almost stopped my ability to work. 2 to 3 hours on a computer, and I could have totally distorted vision where I can't drive, I can't read, I can't look at anything, sometimes for 2 days.
Wow.
Fibromyalgia and arthritis. My mom also had those things, and I lived in quite a bit of pain. I was in a couple car accidents throughout my years and had back injuries. And so that just really inflamed everything, right? I had IBS all my life, restless legs so bad I had to replace my sheets every 3 months. My skin was so thin. I was in wound care all the time because if I bumped against my water bottle, I broke open skin. During the pandemic, I was going bald right here. I was a mess. I know there's other things. I'm always fatigued during the day, never slept at night. I mean, the list goes on, right? And I had an aha moment in early 2020. I stopped by a pharmacy friend of mine I hadn't seen in a while. And he introduced me to the biophotonic scanner. And that rates your carotenoids in your skin, which is our largest organ, and takes 60 days of whatever you're doing different to get to see what changes have been made. And it basically reads your oxidative stress and your antioxidant level. And I failed miserably, like most people do, especially here in America, where we have depleted our soil and we've taught everybody to eat crappy food, fast food, and, not sit down and enjoy ourselves anymore and eat wholesome stuff, right? It's all about the speed in which we can do it. So I met with a functional practitioner and really learned I needed to change my mindset to how I ate and figure out why I ate what I ate when I ate it. And a lot of that is food triggers. We don't think about it. It's just something, it's our go-tos. So I made changes in my diet, added more fruits and vegetables, figured out different ways to cook them, went on some amazing supplements. Now I took myself off of 12 prescriptions. Before I started this journey, I wanted to make sure that the changes I was making and the supplements I was taking was actually working. And I had lived with so much pain for so long, it wasn't going to hurt me to not have those medications, right? I looked at it this way. I don't want anything masking what possibly can be transforming myself, right? And within 3 months, my cholesterol dropped from 310 to 160. My skin had already firmed up. My hair was growing back. I had eyelashes I used to pay for. My vision was calming down. My inflammation was releasing from my body, so it wasn't so bad. My IBS was almost gone. Within 6 months, my vision had totally cleared. I had no more pain, no more vision problems, no more IBS, slept like a baby, had all sorts of energy all day long. It was just my life. It completely changed. And along the way, around 4.5 months into it, when you're healing your body from within and you're releasing all that inflammation, along with it goes all the other stuff you don't want or need. And 42 pounds fell off of me in 6 weeks. Huh. That was 4 years ago. I haven't gained any of it back. I mean, it was life-changing. And I looked at myself and I said, at 60, if you can do this, there are so many other people that are dealing with this in silence. They don't talk about it. I didn't talk about it. Yes, I went on lots of doctor's appointments, had lots of tests. Nobody could tell me what was wrong with me. Now we all know it was my diet and being on proper supplementation, not garbage that you get off of a shelf, right? So I decided I was going back to functional medicine school so I could help others achieve the same freedom from medications, freedom from the weight, freedom from the misery. And, I looked at it this way. I had a bucket list and I knew I wasn't going to be able to obtain any of those things on that bucket list. And now my goal is to hit every one of them and get it checked off because I feel like I have freedom now.
What a transformation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So now you see what you have done sets you up for doing even more. So you mentioned that you had this bucket list and you are on your way to checking off just about all of them. And I'm sure all of the items on your list, and I'm sure you're continually adding too. So have gained a new vivacity in you. You become
absolutely
more alive. Yes?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell us, to give us an idea too, I know you mentioned that you were also a smoker at one. You completely changed the habits that you had been holding on to for decades now. And
you know what?
Yes.
As you make the changes, and it's like I take my clients through the changes, I take them through it very gently. It's not hard. And I realized along the way, I wasn't missing the things that I was cutting out because I felt better and I had a different mindset. I was meditating now, I was writing down my gratitude. I was taking time for myself, even if it was 3 times a day of 10 minutes to just be in my own space and listen to my body and what was coming up. And once you start paying attention to yourself, all sorts of things come in and become clear,
Right.
especially if you make the changes along the way, because it's crazy. It's freeing and it's not hard.
Once you changed your mind. So could you take us through that process?
Well, the first thing I did is I stopped all fast food, all fried food. I started meal prepping. So I'd go to farmers markets and get some fresh fruits and vegetables. I'd come back and I would do my grocery shopping and everything, come back and prepare meals for 1 to 2 weeks.
Right. So you really changed your priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My morning routine was totally different. It was tea and meditation out back in my garden. It was around 10 o'clock every morning. I would make what I called my antioxidant shake.
I love that.
Yeah. I had my collagen in it. My base was rice milk because it's very thin. I don't like it too thick. I already put a frozen banana in it. And then I do blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, a chocolate vegan powder, protein powder, and also a tablespoon of aloe vera gel.
And you have this recipe in one of your many publications, correct?
Actually, no, that one's just the one I do every day.
It's one that
I always have more things to come up with. So, and I ate earlier. I didn't late night snack unless it was, let's say, olives and walnuts, which help you sleep, right?
And maybe a dose of melatonin?
I don't even need that.
You don't need that?
I started listening to Rain. I found this one I really like. It's Rain on Leaves in New Orleans. And it's a 9-hour sleeping thing on YouTube. Or actually, I think it's on Prime. And I turn that on and I do my meditation. And then I give up my energy from the day to the universe and recenter myself for peace and harmony. I lay down, get comfortable. I'm out. I used to toss and turn for hours. It's just amazing when you have a different outlook, how it can flow in all directions of your life.
I think that it seems to me that there was a change in the amount of self-love that you were practicing too. So you decided to put your life at the forefront. Yeah. Was there something
when you're spending time with yourself and you're listening to your body, in which I teach my people how to really scan and listen and write down what comes up, and you're being grateful and writing down a gratitude journal, it changes your perspective, especially on yourself. You start feeling that self-care and that self-hug.
So is that where you start then?
With my clients, I actually, after I have one-on-ones with everybody to really set them up and find out what their particular individual issues are. And so that they can be addressed individually. But for the most part, the first thing they do is they learn how to be mindful shopping.
All right.
Because if you don't do that, you're not setting up your kitchen for success.
Let's go through each one of those steps. So detoxify your kitchen. What does that entail?
Well, you're going to clean out all your cabinets and your pantry and your refrigerator and freezer, and nothing goes back in that's expired, processed, too much sugar. All that stuff goes. Chips, dips, all that crap goes, right? And then you get a healthy pantry list to take shopping. So you have your staples that you always need in your pantry to reach and make something healthy. Understanding labels and the marketing perspective and so forth of foods, because the big food companies are out to kill us. They lie. There's all sorts of things are hidden in the labels that, people look at calories and fat, sodium and sugar. That's it. You got to read the whole ingredients and know what that means.
Right. So really study the labels. I'm a student of label reading. And I in some ways, I think of salt as being a little addictive, as is sugar, and and crunchy things too. So,
there's fruits and vegetables that are crunchy.
Okay. Yes. Carrots. Just grab a carrot and gnaw on that for a little bit. But let's also then talk about how to read the labels and then what a healthy shopping list looks like.
All right. So to read the labels, number one, if it has toast in it anywhere, fructose, all of those, It's sugar. It's just another form of sugar, right? If I always tell people the number one thing when reading a label, if you can't pronounce it or don't know what it is, put it back on the shelf and keep moving.
Simple rule.
Because it's a chemical. Keep moving, get away from the deli. There's not a thing healthy in the deli. Not a thing. I don't care if it's boar's head. Turkeys don't have and chickens don't have real breasts that's perfectly round like this for them to slice for you. This is all broken down, ground up, put back together with chemicals to fit. So it looks really pretty when they slice it for you. That's just a bunch of chemicals. Stay away from it.
It's natural.
Yeah. Of course, bakery. Need I say more?
Oh my gosh. I love my
And then you want to make sure you're doing lean meats. Packaged meals are full of salt and chemicals, so they stay as long as they need to in the cooler or on the shelf, whatever, right? So I'm a big proponent of bulk shopping. I live by myself, but I separate everything. But I can go out and I can season and stuff chicken, grill it, and have it ready that I can shred into anything, right? You can boil chicken, you can bake a bunch of chickens, and you can season them in different things. So you have Mexican seasoning, dressing or something for a barbecue blend, right? But, that's what we go over. We go over meal prep too further down into the program. But fruits and vegetables, the produce department is my favorite department.
Okay. Yes.
And, you just be smart with when you really start paying attention to the labels.
For sure. Makes you more aware of what you're buying. It becomes an adventure going to the grocery store, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And if you don't ever go hungry, of course, and you stick to your list. And if you know how to create a list where it matches where you need to go in order in the store, you can get in and get out.
So you were espoused building a menu for the week then, and
yes,
menu to shop by.
And always do, and you should do it at least 3 times a year, is you should detox your kitchen, because there's going to be products that have expired. There's going to be things in the back of the shelf, because if they didn't stay organized, you don't know where everything is. And those extra things that you bought a couple months ago are about to expire in the back, and you just bought more. So always know what's in your pantry, what's in your refrigerator before you go shopping and make your list, because so many times we buy stuff we already had and we didn't realize.
That's right. We didn't take inventory before we left the house.
So being mindful with all of that is so important.
Right. So you must have come out with a wonderful cookbook then in the meantime.
I came out with a cookbook a few years ago, the Healthy Cookbook and 30-Day Meal Plan. And then since then, I've done several different things, like my anti-inflammatory guide, and it'll have like 30 recipes in it. My Healthy Holiday Survival Guide that's out there now for everybody as a free gift for the holiday.
I did see that. So I encourage everyone to pick a copy.
Yeah.
And give one
that is
for a gift.
10 tips on how to survive the holidays, right? And then 40 recipes that you can include in your holiday festivities. But I do different things with recipes too. Like I have a low carb pack, food, recipe pack. I have a high protein recipe pack. I have a vegetarian, I have a vegan, different things like that. So I try everybody's a little different. Everybody responds to foods differently. I also do offer multitudes of functional tests. So if somebody wants to get to the root cause earlier, they want to find out what it really is that's making them feel bad really fast, we can do some tests, and then we can really pinpoint on how to accelerate that healing.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the tests then that people can use through using you and your advice. What kind of testing does this entail? Do they give us saliva sample?
I have like 300 tests I can pick from. I have anything from hormones to tests that will read your vitamin mineral toxicity levels in your body, which I think is a real important one. A lot of times we're off balance because we're just missing things that we need, or we're heavily toxated with metals, or, we get metal toxicity from water, for crying out loud, even bottled water. So
who would have thought?
Our environment is very toxic. So we all have some level of toxicity. If things are going sideways for you, then it could be a level is higher than it should be and needs to be addressed. I do PGX testing. I work with a holistic pharmacist. So I had a client that was on 15 different medications, and the doctor would put him on one and he'd have side effects. So he gives him another one. I'm like, enough of this. Let's do a PGX test. What it is a genetic test that will tell you what medicine's working with, will respond with your body type, and what won't. And when we did that, we actually had him change 3 of his prescriptions to different companies. And within 3 months, he dropped 2 extra prescriptions and everything started working right. So anything from food sensitivity test, hormone test, there's so many tests that we can do Just depends on what's happening with you and what we think we need to look for.
And this came all with your functional training. You learn about these tests, and gosh, over 300 of them. That's mind boggling. How do you keep them straight?
Well, no, I go into the library and look for what I need when I need it. But, it's a shame that traditional medicine doesn't have access to these. Doctors don't think that they're a value add. They're so used to just doing your CBC on your blood panel and whatever, right? But there's so much more we can deep dive and find out root causes of what's happening in a body, right? Besides the superficial test and stuff that we get from traditional medicine.
Right. So, gosh, there's just a big missing in traditional medicine.
Yeah, it's not really a healthcare system. It's kind of a disease management system.
Okay. All right. That's a different perspective. Can you elaborate a little bit more so we can understand?
If you look at big pharma and you look at the big food manufacturers, who's made us all diabetic, overweight, miserable, heart disease, new illnesses are popping up all over the place. Now, when I was in my teens, you didn't hear about any of this stuff. Occasionally someone dropped dead from a heart attack or somebody got cancer, but it wasn't prevalent like it is now. And it's because we've just completely ruined how we eat as a nation. We're keeping everybody sick and just managing them. I believe in healing from within, which we can do. You can heal your mind, body, and spirit. You absolutely can. And it's not that hard. It's just paying attention, knowing that you need to take time out for yourself a few times a day. And you have the time. You're just wasting it doing something else.
After all, what is more important than our health? If we don't have our health, there's not much we can actually do.
Exactly.
It limits what we can do.
It does. And health is your first priority of wealth, right? If you don't have your health, what is money? What is work? What is family? What is everything? If you can't do what you want to do and you can't roll around with those grandbabies and you can't, take them on a vacation and you can't do these things. And are you going to be there for your daughter or your granddaughter's wedding?
True.
These are questions that people don't want to ask themselves.
No, they don't. We don't like to talk about our mortality. Yeah. And also our sensitivities and our health. We just take a lot of us, I think, for granted, but you're increasing the awareness of how important this is and how really simple it can be to get your health back.
And I do believe that it takes a good 6 months to build a sustainable new lifestyle for yourself, where it just is. There's no thinking about it anymore. It's such a routine and you feel so much better that I've had clients that go on to become almost vegans. And I'm like, I didn't teach you that. I had a guy lose 126 pounds and he's almost a vegan now, but he still does seafood and all fruits and vegetables. And
could you tell us about that case study? That's an enormous amount of weight to lose. Over 120 pounds, 126, I think I heard you say.
Yeah.
How long did it take for him to lose that?
Let's see. We worked together for about 10 months. He lost 110 pounds in 10 months. But it took 3 months for me to get him out of the deli. He fought me, tooth and nail on that one. But once I got him to quit the deli, weight started coming off. He was on heart meds. He couldn't hardly move or get around. He got a spiritual advisor. I started actually going to his church with him. And to this day, he still sends me pictures of his meals because that's one of the things I ask you to do is take a picture of all your meals and send them to me because I'm going to critique them, and sooner or later, I'm going to say, I want that recipe because it's funny watching how people change their favorite meals over time, or they're getting rid of frying this portion of it and baking it now, or they're getting rid of, and I love it when they explain, now this is what I did different this time, right? And get excited about it because they know they're doing well.
Yeah.
And I think everybody needs a motivating factor besides I'm sick or I want to do better. You still need that person that's going to pat you on the back, tell you you're doing good, rein you in when you're starting to go sideways and keep you accountable. Because if you don't have, I know I am terrible. If I am not kept accountable on something, my discipline is terrible, right? It always has been. Procrastination, absolutely. You need somebody. I think everybody needs somebody to
keep them on point and honest with themselves too. Somebody who is willing to call them out, which you can do. They've given you permission as their coach. So you can do that for them. And that's a huge value add.
It really is. And it really instills in them the trust in their own selves as they're going through this journey, right?
Right.
And when you're ready to release them, you still want to still talk to them and stuff, but it's knowing that they've got it. It's such a blessing to see.
Yes.
when
How
people are making
rewarding.
these changes. It's so rewarding.
Fulfilling, rewarding, and purposeful, and just really amazing. The gratitude you feel when you see someone succeed like that. Have there been others, though, who weren't able to kind of cut the mustard? They just couldn't for some reason.
I've had a few people that just didn't want to do the accountability. They never did any of their homework. And I knew they weren't going to do it. And it saddens me. And I'm like, what's going on? Because this isn't working for you. And it's not working for me either, because you're not doing the work. And you wanted this outcome, but you're not participating. And if you're not going to participate, why are you here?
Right. Yes. Call them out. But also, in some cases, it might be that you have more motivation for them to succeed than they themselves do.
Well, and it's funny. I did a lot of interviews with a lot of different, mostly women, when I was putting my program together a year or so ago. And because I've had more success with men, for some reason, they listen more. And everybody says, well, you need to work with women. I'm like, well, women don't think high enough of themselves. And during the conversation, it took a lot of prying to get them to admit it. But we've all had traumas in our life. We've all had to work through or overcome. We were raised to take care of everybody. But if you're not healthy, you can't take care of everybody else. And there are people that have lost husbands and family members, and they just never thought that they were deserving enough of taking care of themselves. But if they're going to do something to make themselves feel better, they'll go get their hair and their nails done and go buy some clothes. But that's all that superficial stuff.
Right. Easy fixes.
Yeah. It's a fleeting moment of feeling good about yourself because you got a new outfit on and a new haircut. But it's that 24/7 feeling good that you want.
The energy, the vivacity, the joy in living that they can
and the rest.
experience. And
Being
the
able
rest.
to rest and put your day down and
Yeah.
take care of yourself. And I found out from most of the women, it's like pulling teeth for them to understand that they need to prioritize themselves.
Right. If not for themselves, for their families. Right. Yeah. If they can't if they're not able to help others because they themselves can't help themselves. Yes. Where does everything stay? Things just don't move forward.
Right.
Get stuck. So you have several programs, and you do give one-to-one coaching, but you also coach online, how you serve your client and the kinds of programs you have available.
Okay. So I just launched last year a 12-week program group online. I'm going to launch it again in the 9th of January. We start. And right now it's under a 40% off holiday special, Black Friday deal, whatever, until December 24th. It's normally $1,800, and it takes you through all stages and everything you need to set yourself up for success. And it's only 12 weeks. It's not a 6-month program, but typically I work with couples or partners 2-on-1 for 6 months, or I work with VIP 1-on-1. And the VIP client gets a functional lab of their choice that we think will be needed, included in the cost. So
what is it?
A functional lab can range anywhere from $100 and something to $700. It depends on what it is.
But is it a battery of tests?
It's different tests, like we were talking about earlier.
A subsample of the 300 plus tests that they can.
Yes. So let's say you want to know what your sensitivity, because you're always have an upset stomach. Well, that means you probably don't pay attention to what you eat and how you feel after, right? I remember I wish someone had me do a food journal a long time ago, because I would have picked up on some things that I shouldn't eat. But instead of doing that, if something's not aware now, food sensitivity test is a great way to figure out right now what we're cutting out. We're going to start right there. These things you're no longer eating. We're going to work around that and see how you start feeling, right? And then we're going to add these changes into what you do, because I like to know how you eat throughout the day, right? What does it look like on the day during the week, right? Because I need to know what your calendar looks like, so I know where those magic moments are going to be that you're going to take 10 to 15 minutes for yourself.
This is really hands-on, very detailed, and very intensive, very personal. So they take a picture of everything they're eating all day long and send them to you, and yay or nay on the back, or what are you thinking?
It's like, okay, so this is our first meal. We don't need 2 proteins. We just need either chicken or fish. We don't need all that rice. We need that much in vegetables, and the vegetables be the size of the rice.
What's so great about you too, Sheri, though? You have such a wonderful sense of humor. I can't imagine that people wouldn't love working with you, because you help them laugh at themselves.
You got to, man. You got to laugh at yourself.
And I think that's very healthy, very helpful too, because we do, if left to our own devices, we take ourselves too seriously, but it is, and we don't have the kind of perspective that you have. And you've developed a whole series of programs for each individual too. So you work intensively in your VIP program. That's a one-on-one. That's the top tier service. Mm-hmm. And then you have the groups. Services.
Yeah, the buddy program, which is either a couple, which is always works really well because you're living together, you're working together, you're cooking together. And a lot of times you weren't cooking together, but now you are. Then I have the 12-week online group coaching. And then I do some local group coaching, like at associations and stuff. And then I do for $297, spend 90 minutes with you after you fill out a long intake form so that we can just figure out what is going on with you. And I can give you some advice and maybe a couple ideas for meal planning for the next 60 days. And then it's just a one-time meet just to kind of get a feel of what they can and cannot do. And then they usually bounce into one of the programs.
Right. And then you can continue to help them as they need. So they don't ever have to go away. They can continue working with you
absolutely.
To the degree that they want to. And that sounds wonderful. So you've got your Black Friday special, which is that 12-week program, half off.
That one, yes, is 40% off. So it's only $1,080. Mm-hmm. And then I also have my Gut and Glow program, which is just a couple weeks, a month program, building new habits around your gut health. We go over a personalized gut protocol for you. I have a guide about your gut health that has 13 recipes. And then I have another gut friendly recipe booklet that you get, and you get 3 coaching sessions along the way with that. But one of the programs has a self-assessment test. So you can do your own self-assessment before and after to see where you are gut health-wise.
Right. Yes. And your website is at?
Mine is yourwellnessredefined.com.
And all these you're describing, they can find on your website?
No, they're all different. So I'm having a masterclass December 19th.
Oh, good.
It's going to be 3:00 Eastern time.
Okay.
It's a Thursday. That is free. And it's going to be 90 minutes and it takes you through a lot. On setting, it's called Thrive in 2025, Restore Balance Through Nutrition. And then right now, everybody can grab my Healthy Holiday Survival Guide. That is going to be at https:///healthy Holiday Survival Guide now site.
Oh, wonderful. So yes, we're all going to have to grab copies of all of those resources that you mentioned. Yes. So you've got the holidays all planned out and even starting people off on a brand new 2025.
Yeah. We got to walk in with that mentality. We don't go into January 1st with New Year's resolutions because by the 20th, they fizzle out and it did every year for me. So I hate it when people do New Year's resolution. You've got to make that decision before the first of the year. Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to jump on some crazy diet. I don't believe in crazy diets. Diets don't work. Diets people do to lose weight. Well, guess what happens when you lose stuff? You always find it.
Comes right back. Yes. It's a yo-yo
diets
diet.
Don't work. It's a lifestyle. Yes. You just got to change your whole mentality around food.
Wow. And I think that's a good piece of advice that all of us should just really make our own. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
No, I wish everybody a wonderful holiday season, and let's walk into 2025 a healthier version of ourselves.
Absolutely. And I invite everyone to take advantage of Sheri's resources. Many of them are free, but also check out her personal services as well. Sheri, I want to thank you again for joining us today. We have covered a lot. My gosh, we got to take a stab at those 300 plus tests so we can learn more about our bodies and how we process foods and non-foods, but preferably real foods, and take advantage of your cookbook so we can learn how to cook better, right? Just eliminate any frying, bake instead, and all the options that can still provide us with delicious, nutritious foods that will help us take care of ourselves better. So we can live longer, happier, more energetically, and live longer too. All righty.
That's the goal.
Thank you again. Okay. All right. So I'll cut it off here. I know. But that was fun. Oh my gosh, my eyes started tearing up.
It's those lashes.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, probably.
I got the magnetic ones. I've thrown a bunch of them out, and I got a new one. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
I wish I could figure those out because I just don't do the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm stuck with these because I started them and I have to finish with them.
Did
Oh,
you have those individually done?
no, these are they're the sets that I
Yeah.
actually use adhesive for.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have eyelashes anymore, basically.
Oh, listen, having 2 bouts of surgery with anesthesia, I hardly have any eyelashes. I mean, I had such a shred, a shed from
Yeah.
that. I swear it's aged
Yeah.
me another 10 years. Seriously, it's bad. And these glasses are glaring and they're not supposed to be glaring. I just picked them up today. They're supposed to be
Oh,
good on Zoom. If I look like this, you can see my eyes, but if I'm back a little bit, you get,
yes, there's a little glare, but
yeah,
not as terrible as I have seen on other people. No, so they do cut down the glare.
I don't know how much.
I can see your
I got light up here. It's like
can see your beautiful blue eyes.
green, they're green.
Oh, green eyes.
The only one in my family that ever had green eyes, both sides.
Okay. Well,
They were all blue eyes.
be proud.
Had to be different. That's right.
All right, Sheri, I'm going to let you go. It's late, and I really thank you for staying up late with me.
Absolutely.
Let me edit this video, and then I'll share it with you and then everybody on LinkedIn, especially those people who have signed up. So,
did you see them in the room?
No, there was nobody here. They do is they send in their recorders, but they also, I guess, if they must know by now that I give them the recordings anyway, so they'll have that. But hopefully we can with the replays so we can get some more business coming your way.
Okay, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be lovely. I'd like to go into the 2025 with at least 10 people in my program. That would be a beautiful thing.
Okay, that's going to be a goal for me too, to send 10 people to your Black Friday special, 40% off, 12 weeks, and that will change your life.
And you make 10%.
Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take. All right. So what do you have planned for your dinner tonight? Or have you already eaten?
I've already eaten.
Okay, good for you. You're not a late eater.
Oh, no. I eat late too often. I try to eat early. So I made a point to eat before this. So.
Yeah.
And then I put on my makeup and all that stuff. Now I'm just going to go take it out.
And the most of the show was you. So I kind of I muted myself often.
You weren't even in the picture?
Oh, a little bit. When I spoke the little questions that I had, then I had Zoom on speaker mode. So whoever was speaking was on the camera. Yeah. But most of it was you. I'm going to edit myself out most of the time. Okie doke. Hey, have a good, fun evening. Thanks so much, Sheri. This was really great. And so much.
You're welcome.
You're right. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, love. Bye-bye.